it going, everybody? Welcome to General Hospital MV, my GH After show, coming at you super late, and I'm sorry about that. Actually, right now, at the time of me recording this, it's 1 in the morning, so that's why I'm being a little bit quiet. But I do want to talk about GH. But basically, I went to my friend's birthday, and I was there a lot longer than I thought I would be. And then when I got home this evening, the Grammys were on, and I really wanted to watch the Grammys because I love music. I'm sorry. But let's talk about GH. First of all, we have yet another round of let's try to make the audience feel bad for Franco, this time by having him framed by another serial killer. Now, far be it from me to defend Franco. Y'all know I do not like him, but this is the dumbest plot point ever. Like, the fact that Ryan could even somehow hypnotize Lulu when he's not a therapist? How? Also, the fact that it happened off-screen, however he manipulated Lulu into believing it was Franco, that stuff happened off-screen because obviously the writers couldn't think of an actual plausible way for that to happen on-screen. It's like when Helena tried to explain how she faked Jake's death and she explained it off-screen. Stupid. Listen, it is February sweeps. Like, this whole Ryan thing should be coming to head. Like, this should be over and done with. Ryan should be cornered by now. And he's not. They're dragging it out, probably till May sweeps. And, you know, when I think of sweeps, I think back to 12 years ago when it was 2007 and it was the Metro Court hostage crisis. Every day of that month was freaking intense. People were shot at. People were having heart attacks. People died. A whole building exploded. And the most exciting thing that happened so far is that Ryan got mad at Ava not believing his shenanigans and threw papers off of a desk. Ooh, such action, GH, such action. The show did, however, have a really good cliffhanger on Friday with Ryan trying to kill Griffin on the hospital roof with a syringe in his hand. That's how the episode ended. Would have been a great cliffhanger. The only problem is, in the previews right after that, they show Griffin talking to Sasha in his apartment. Who overlooked that? Like, you ruined the suspenseful cliffhanger. Everyone was at the edge of their seats thinking, oh my god, is he gonna do it? And then it's like, nope, he's not gonna do it. Griffin's fine and back at the apartment. How does that get overlooked? You ruined your cliffhanger. You ruined it. By the way, full disclosure, I do not want Griffin to die. This is Duke Lavery's son. It is the only thing that Anna has left of Duke. And on top of that, I just feel like they've wasted the character completely. I mean, this is like a hunky doctor that could have easily taken Patrick's place once he left and been the lead of the hospital and the heart of the hospital. But the show barely focuses on the hospital, and the only storylines that they've given Griffin is like him falling from grace and sleeping with someone that he shouldn't have slept with in the first place, and then dating someone else just to give him something to do. Like, he should be leading hospital storylines, and there's no hospital storylines in General Hospital. That's messed up. Speaking of wasting characters, let's talk about Valerie Spencer, because even though she wasn't on the show this week, we have some news on Brittany Sarpy, and that is she is joining Young and the Restless cast. And honestly, I don't blame her because she gets nothing with this show, and that irritates me so much. Because I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that kind of wanted Valerie and Christina to explore some kind of relationship because of their kiss a few weeks back and how she clearly seemed pretty conflicted on what went down. But obviously we're not going to see that because I feel like the character is not even important enough for them to recast, you know? Like, she's not even doing anything with this big murder serial killer storyline. She's barely been involved. The only time she was involved was at Jordan's wedding. Beyond that, nothing. Even though she's technically a detective now and should be right up there with Detective Chase. So it's just like, I don't know, it's so irritating that they wasted this talent. Like, what are you doing, GH? What are you doing? Alright, moving on. Now let's talk about Oscar. Oscar got some good news this week when he finds out from Terry that his tumor has not grown any bigger. It doesn't mean he's getting better, it just means he has a little bit longer than they thought to live. And this sparked on message boards people being like, I really don't want Oscar to die. And so I have a question for you, audience. Do you want Oscar to die? My answer? Yes. Hear me out. It's not because of how I feel about the actor. I know I've been vocal on him not really bringing any talent to the story. But with that said, it has nothing to do with that. The thing is, I feel like there is so much more storyline potential if the character dies. I mean, first of all, it's inevitable that Cameron and Jocelyn are going to get together, whether Oscar dies or not. Personally, I would rather Jocelyn and Oscar's love story not be tainted by, like, this miracle and then, like, they end up in a triangle. Like, I'd rather their love story be pure, and then when Jocelyn's grieving and Cameron's grieving, they get together and become their own love story, you know? I feel like that would be a much better route to take. And on top of that, if Oscar dies, think of the Emmy-winning performances we would get from Tamara Braun and Billy and Eden. Like, it would just be amazing. There's so much good things that can come from Oscar dying. Way more than what can come if Oscar lives, you know? The way I see it, I feel like, okay, so Oscar lives, now what? Obviously, Jocelyn and Oscar are young, and they're not going to be together forever, so it's like, they're going to have to move on, and it just kind of ruins this whole journey that we've been on. And I know it's devastating, and people don't want to see a kid die, but I feel like it's raw and real if he does, you know? It would be a really good story to tell. So, that's my take. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Now let's quickly talk about Shiloh, because Spinelli was doing some research, and while he found pretty much nothing, there's just one person in Shiloh's life that he did find, and her name is Harmony, and she's out in Beecher's Corners. Now, I heard from someone on Tumblr that I'm not going to reveal, but they had a theory that this Harmony girl could be Sam's adoptive mother. And the reason why they think that is because apparently back in the day it was said that Sam's adoptive parents were out in Beecher's Corners, so it could kind of tie into that, and Shiloh and Sam were kind of discussing how Sam was abandoned by her adopted mother. So maybe that's Harmony, maybe it's not. It's a good theory though. I wanted to share it, even though they didn't want to share it like themselves on their Tumblr page, but I thought it was a really good theory, so I wanted to bring it up. Alright, now let's talk about Sam's real mother, Alexis. Alexis is still pining over the guy that held a knife to her throat, and she wants to go back into therapy. She tries to go to Kevin, but of course Kevin's like, conflict of interest, you're my wife's lawyer now, so there's that. So he recommends someone else to her. Little does she know that the guy that she randomly meets at Julian's bar, why she goes there so often is beyond me, but Julian's bar, and pretty much just word vomits her life story to him, and then she goes to the therapist's office later. That's when she realizes it's him. So yay, brand new character, even though there's several characters that we don't see on screen. Way to go. I'm just so frustrated with GH right now. It's driving me nuts. It's like, it's ruining my love for the show, what it's become right now. I want them to be, you know, quicker with their stories and bring on the action, especially in the months of sweeps. Like, this is when things should be intense, and they're not intense anymore, and it's frustrating. And then, like, seeing characters just kind of disappear or get better jobs elsewhere because the show's not utilizing them, it just makes me sad. It makes me sad for the state of the show, it really does. I mean, what else is there to say, really? Like, do better, but I don't think the writers or the producers know how, because it's not changing. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to end this here because it is getting later and later. I'm going to go to sleep after I press pause on the camera, wake up early, edit it, and upload it for you guys to see, hopefully by the afternoon, Monday afternoon. Sorry, I'm so tired. So I'm going to end it here. If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe if you want to, and I will catch you guys next week.